How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Investing with Zeke. I was playing with the cat, so my shirt's filled with all sorts of cat hair. I don't know what's going on with that, but cat shed all over. I mean, I should introduce you to him one time, but tonight we're going to talk a little bit about Reddit. I mean, this stock just came out. I think it IPO'd like Wednesday or something like that. Long story short, Reddit, stock ticker Rddt with a $7.3 billion market cap. I think it came out, it started out like $25 and shot right up to $50, like immediately. And I believe there's a strong reason for it. Right now, we've been down about 12%, but who cares when it shot up immediately right after it launched. This $7 billion market cap is really interesting to me, especially with what Reddit does. Let's listen to what the experts have to say and listen to the CEO of Reddit, Stephen Hoffman. Let's see what he has to say about the IPO here. Well, I gotta unmute it here.
Social media company Reddit getting ready to make its public debut right here at the New York Stock Exchange. Reddit CEO Steve Huffman and our own Julia Borston are with me here at Post 9, ahead, of course, of the opening bell. Julia, let me turn it over to you to begin the questions.
Thanks, David. And Steve, thanks so much for joining us here as we await the opening trade of Reddit shares. This has been a long time coming. Reddit is a 19-year-old company, and you're taking an unusual approach to the IPO itself, opening up 8% of retail allocations to your active moderators and also your active users. What kind of interest did you see from them, and are you concerned they're going to sell today because they have no lockup period?
Sure. So first, thank you
That's
for having me
cool
here.
that he
it's
did
truly
that.
an honor to be here. It's been a journey, and to be surrounded by our employees, I'm overcome with gratitude, and for our communities to make Reddit what it is. So in this IPO, yes, we invited a number of our users and have a healthy retail component beyond that. And our goal there was to bring in, I think as is the ethos of Reddit, level the playing field, bring people in on the same terms that professional investors would. And so it's a free market. I hope they believe in Reddit and support Reddit. But the goal is just to get them in the deal, just like any professional investor would.
Well, there's been a lot of chatter on Wall Street Bets, which is obviously a very popular Reddit forum, that has not been so positive. You mentioned this as a potential risk factor in your S1. Are you concerned that having this very big presence with those retail investors, very high-profile presence, is going to drive volatility in a bad way?
Well, first of all, look, I love Wall Street Bets. I'm a user. I've seen their comments over the last couple of weeks, so I just send them my regards. And again, that's Reddit. Reddit is people. Reddit is a fun and special, but sometimes crazy place. And so I wouldn't expect anything less from our community.
It doesn't upset you, though? You're like, wait a second, we're going public. You guys are a part of this. You've helped us in terms of our success. Why aren't you more supportive?
Look, that's exactly, I think they've helped us get here. Reddit is nothing without our users and communities. And I think that's the beautiful thing about Reddit is they tell it like it is. But God, you have to remember, they're doing that on Reddit. And it's a platform they love. It's their home on the internet. And look, I think it's such a privilege for I and the team to get to work on Reddit, but they really are Reddit.
Steve, one of the questions I think that's come up a lot is company's been around, as Julia said, for roughly 19 years and has not managed to be profitable in any of those years. And so what will change or has changed if you haven't been able to figure out how to get to profitability over that period of time?
Well, so first, that's not exactly true. So we have been around 19 years.
Good question.
So I came back to the company, though, in 2015, and that's when we really started to build the business of Reddit. And that hit high gear in 2018, really, when Jen Wong joined as COO. And she's really been my partner in running Reddit and building this business. But we made a profit in the back half of 2023. We grew revenue 3 times as fast as costs last year. And so what's, I think, beyond the community of Reddit and the platform of Reddit, there's actually a very nice, special business here. And our gross margins are very high, the high 80s, and have been for a long time. And so even small improvements in revenue go straight to the bottom line for us. And so this is truly, I think, a special company, and profitability is, it's an important milestone for us, and we're getting closer and closer.
I know Jim has a question as well for you. Jim?
First, Steve, thank you for being on the set. It's fantastic.
Thanks, Jim. It's great to see you.
Absolutely. I wanted to know, when you and I talk, it's just really important, I believe, that people who have been so important to your company, the Redditors, get stock if they want stock. Were the brokerage houses understanding of that? Is it placed with people you think that actually have done so much and might actually want to hold on because it could be a great stock?
It honestly was not a controversial ask at all of our bankers and of the investors. What we've been pitching, and we've been pitching Reddit for 2 years, telling them why we do this, why it's special, and we've met so many investors who get Reddit, who understand Reddit, and know that this is, including our users in a moment like this, is the most natural thing we could do.
Make it clear, it's not just Wall Street bets that want stock, right? I mean, those people might be sellers, who knows? You're talking about hardcore people who have really helped build your brand away from stocks. I imagine that they want to be long-term holders.
I hope so. I think the best investors of Reddit are people who use Reddit. And so I want our investors to be users, and I'd love our users to be investors. I think, we're all building this together. We're building the platform, and now we get to build the company too. I think it's just such a privilege.
So speaking of building the company, your business is currently 95% advertising revenue. And for those ad dollars, you're competing against the giants. We're talking about Meta, we're talking about Google. It's an incredibly competitive space, and you're very small compared to these other players in terms of the number of daily active users you have. What is your strategy to be able to grow market share in such a tight environment?
Sure. So I have 2 answers to that. First is the digital ads market is so huge. It grows by 5 to 10 Reddits per year on its own. And then what's special about Reddit is whatever you're into, whatever you're going through, whether you're getting into college, getting your first job, relationships, ups and downs, whatever health malady you have, and everybody's got one, it's all on Reddit. And so Reddit is all about context and interests. And so literally every brand's customers are on Reddit somewhere. And so I think it's actually a very good fit. And for us, I think there's really no constraint on how big the ads business can be
but you
because
haven't
of
been
that
able
breadth.
to monetize them that effectively yet. I mean, I'm looking at a Bernstein piece, monetization well behind peers, despite starting to sell ads in 2006. You had $804 million in revenues in 2023. That's not exactly a huge number.
Well, look, we had $12 million in revenue in 2015, and so we're getting there. And I like the way our business is scaling. I think our advertisers are rooting for us because Reddit it's not about personal and private information. It's about connecting with your customers around shared interests. And so we're seeing, I think, a lot of momentum in the market.
Wherever your business needs to show up, Vistaprint can print it, like on Windows or on cups.
Oh, geez, sorry about that. I guess I didn't even need to watch that commercial. Well, you know what? I liked everything he really had to say, except, the profitability. He didn't really have an answer for. I'm still trying to find a few more numbers, but I liked everything he says. Now, with Reddit, how do I value a company like this? I mean, a $7 billion market cap seems actually kind of cheap to me. The company that I would compare it to, which I'm trying to get more information kind of as it goes, would be Snapchat. Snapchat has an $18 billion market cap. Now, why did I compare these two? They both lose about the same amount of money a year. I mean, Snapchat has 800 million users a month. I'm trying to get a good figure on how many users a month Reddit has. So I'm still looking, but let's hear what the CEO of Snap has to say. I just believe they're pretty comparable. Even if Snapchat has more users than Reddit does, Snapchat users aren't going to buy stuff from advertisers like they would on Reddit. So that's why I believe these they're comparable, but I like Reddit a little bit better. But let's hear what Snap has to say.
I am, Julia. Thank you.
Okay, we hope that your feed has been fixed here. Since you were going back, sort of back and forth, in and out, before we lost you there, I just want to reiterate this question that seems to be the core of investors' concern. The stock is down 34.5% right now. We've seen Meta accelerating its revenue growth, where Snap missed on the revenue numbers and guided to this meaningful loss in the first quarter, worse than analysts anticipated. What is driving the shortfall and also the differential that we're seeing between Meta and Snap?
Well, the adjusted EBITDA guide for Q1 bakes in a brand campaign that we launched to show people how Snapchat is different than social media. I think people are feeling a lot of fatigue around social media right now. It feels like a popularity contest. There's a lot of harmful content, and folks are worried about the negative impact. Snapchat was designed differently to bring friends and family closer together, allow people to express themselves through our camera. And of course, our content platform is moderated, which is better for our community, but also better for advertisers in terms of providing a brand safe environment. So we thought it was a really important time right now to share that message and to do so when we're seeing improved performance on our advertising platform, because we think that that'll help advertisers re-engage with Snap and test out the improvements that we've made so far.
Now, Evan, you're saying that there's fatigue with social media, but we just saw numbers from Meta that were really a beat across the board. Do you think that you're just at a fundamental disadvantage because Snap's size is so much smaller than Meta's? And how will you address that going forward?
I think the key for us is really to build a performance advertising business. Historically, we had more of a brand-focused business, and we've invested a lot over the last 18 months to help advertisers find success with down funnel conversions. We've seen tremendous growth in purchase-related conversions, growing 90% year over year in Q4. And I think that's a testament to the improvements we've been making on the platform. These improvements are also translating to growth in small and medium-sized advertisers, which are really important, again, to the long term of our business because they provide much more resilient revenue growth. So I do think we continue to have work to do on our lower funnel performance advertising business, but it's the right place to focus. We're seeing real progress, and we're expecting that to translate into improved revenue trends, which is why at the top end of our guide for Q1 we're expecting a 10-point acceleration in terms of that revenue growth. So of course, before we see improved revenue trends, we've got to see improved performance for advertisers, and that's why we're excited about the results we saw in Q4.
Yeah, I mean, you say you're guiding to the best case scenario for first quarter, 10% growth, but this past quarter at 5% revenue growth, you were lagging behind the advertising growth, not just of Meta, which was at 24%, but also of Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. So we're seeing such a slower revenue growth rate there, despite this shift over to direct response advertising. When do you think that impact of direct response and that transition will really kick in?
I think we're already seeing the impact in terms of improved advertiser performance, which is a key input to growing our direct response advertising business. It's also helping us advocate for more share shifts in 2024 because we're leveraging the results we saw towards the end of 2023 when we're talking with advertisers about winning more budget from them. So I do think advertisers are looking for an alternative to these very large big tech advertising companies. They want to diversify their advertising spend, but they need to see the performance. And that's why we've been investing so heavily in our direct response, especially around lower funnel objectives.
The future of your business is...
Well, that's what Evan has to say over there at Snap. So it is actually kind of hard to compare them. I mean, I did find out Reddit only has about 450 million users a month, where Snap's at about 800. So, they have double the viewers. I just think there's more money in Reddit users. You're just getting a lot of kids on Snapchat. Who really is going to click on an ad and buy it through Snapchat? I think you have a better chance of buying like the Motley Fool or any sort of those type of businesses through a Reddit. And you'll have actually buyers actually on Reddit that have money. So, I mean, we're sitting at a $7 billion market cap where, Snap is sitting at $17, $18 billion market cap. So quite a bit more than Reddit. I like Reddit. I'm trying to think on where I'd want to because none of them make money. I mean, neither of them, and it doesn't sound like Steve has a plan on making money anytime in the near future. They just IPO'd anyway, so they're just getting money out there. There's going to be a lot of selling, insider selling. I mean, I really want to buy this company. I think this could be like eventually be a big cap company, but it's going to take a while. So, I mean, I'm not looking to buy, anytime soon unless, we get around anything under a $5 billion market cap on Reddit. I think I would be interested in starting a position in. I mean, it has a lot of data. A lot of people use Reddit. You don't just use Reddit for stocks. I mean, you look up a lot of things on Reddit. So, and I think they can continue to grow, especially going public, having a lot more capital, a lot more advertising money. So we're probably not going to be profitable for quite some time here at Reddit, but at least for the next couple of years. But it's a company that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. I might keep an eye on Snap too, because I want one of those type of plays in my portfolio, small cap, data, communication, kind of like a meta type play. That's kind of where the category this fits in. It's just so much smaller than Meta. Meta's so much further ahead in AI, and I think Reddit can get there. I think better than Snap can, and Snap's sitting at a higher valuation. So I'm going to keep my eyes on Reddit. I just kind of wanted to give you my opinion on Reddit. Anyway, like and subscribe. I think I'm going to go to bed. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.